Hello, everyone. Happy Halloween and welcome to another horrific review. Ha ha ha. Dale and I are back as we discuss Halloween 3, directed by Tommy Lee Wallace. Kids all over America want Silver Shamrock masks for Halloween. Dr. Challis seeks to uncover a plot by Silver Shamrock owner Conal Cochran. This movie was made on a budget of $4.6 million and brought in $14.4 million at the box office.
Wow.
Welcome back, Dale. Looking
I
seasonal.
know. Aren't we just? Look at
We are
us.
going for it tonight.
Yep.
Proper sad streamers. Gotta love it. We gotta go full tilt.
Yes.
I spent an extra quid on this because I just had to.
Oh, I should have brought my
It
wand.
was an extra.
Never mind.
I thought you said you got a wand. That's why I got this.
I do. It's just still on the wall.
All right, I thought we were gonna go pew at each other when we argued over this movie. Apparently, this movie is a controversial, and I'll use inverted commas because it's only controversial because people have too much time in their hands. Entry into the Halloween franchise.
Yes.
People still argue whether it's a Halloween, as in the Halloween franchise movie, or standalone, etc., etc. And this has been going on ever since this movie came out.
Wow. That's yeah. I mean, I was totally confused. I mean, I was just like, well, where's Michael? Well, where's everybody gone?
He was on the TV, so
it was on the TV
because they were playing the first Halloween.
That's right. So that was kind of cool. I kind of like that, but yeah, it's like watching a Batman movie without Batman. We expect Michael Myers to be there, because, well, that's what you're thinking it's part of a franchise. And he wasn't in it at all. So I could kind of see why people were getting a bit upset about it.
Yeah, totally understandable. The thing is, though, when John Carpenter, he was the main one behind the idea. He wanted every movie to be a standalone. It wasn't meant to be the Michael Myers series.
Right.
It was meant to be Halloween, so every Halloween a new movie come out that's of something scary that happened in Halloween. So it wasn't meant to be Michael Myers.
It just ended up like that, or?
It just ended up, just the first one took off, obviously, and everyone latched onto the character, and then obviously the studios went, we're doing more of these.
Yeah.
But this movie, honestly, I think it would have been better if it was his own. If it had just been Season of the Witch, Halloween Season of the Witch, not Halloween 3. It really, at the scheme of things, it doesn't add to the franchise, and it wouldn't take away from the franchise it not being there.
No, not at all. No, that's
like it is its own movie. Yeah, it's the same studio, etc. And there's nods and winks to the John Carpenter one, but
yeah,
it's need to be. But
yeah, I reckon you're right there.
People are still arguing over it. People will, this is a Halloween movie. No, it's not, and get that angry about it, and you're like, priorities?
That's ridiculous. Yeah. No, it's still okay. It's still an okay movie considering, but yeah, I mean,
not aged well.
No, not at all. Oh God, I really can't. I don't know. It's really hard to watch movies now when they don't have cell phones. It's really. Why don't you just ring? Oh yeah, no, you can't. You didn't have cell phones back then.
Phones were tied to the wall.
Yes, exactly.
That was not that long ago.
No, 1982. I know, right? Yeah.
I guess it would be in the 1950s.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Oh gosh, but yeah, no. It was good.
I think that's more frightening than the actual movie. Is the fact that this isn't even that long. It's not like lots of it's not like it's hitting a century ago. It's like 50 odd years, not even 50 years ago.
Not even 50 years ago.
The world, the landscape looks completely different. It could be a bygone area. Just everything looks so different.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, from the bar to the bloody streets to the cars and the houses and, the whole setting's completely, it's just so old. It reminds me of being a kid. Yeah.
Well, we were kids when this came out, let's be honest.
We were. Yeah. Yep.
And we weren't meant to
Between the
be
young
watching it when it
teens.
came out, but we did.
Yep, absolutely, of course.
But of course, we've got the good old John Carpenter score at the start, and he's playing about with
Oh,
electronics.
yes, yes. What did you think? I actually thought it brought us in really well. Then I was like, this score's going on for a bit too long. When are you going to change the music? But it enhanced the scenes, some of them, but it was very cheesy, wasn't it? It's very cheesy.
Absolutely.
The musical score. Oh.
But there's something about the 8-bit screens as well that just give it. I think if this was like on a tablet or something, it wouldn't look the same. Like if it was an AI image today on a tablet, it just wouldn't look the same as that 8-bit image.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah,
there's just something about that technology and the way it was done just makes it creepy.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, don't get me wrong. There was so much tension and suspense building in this, that it actually had me on the edge of my seat because you kind of don't know what's going to happen, which is like there are some predictable bits in there, of course, but there's some other bits in there that are really like quite gross, quite kind of gory, which I really loved. So,
it does push the boundaries. Like even at the time, like this movie pushed the boundaries and it crossed a few taboos.
It did,
especially with kids. It's like that was always a big no-no. You don't have that happen, but this movie crossed the line. So
yeah,
it was good. It's just I don't know if it's the camera work or the acting, but my God, it doesn't. It really shows its age.
Yeah, I think a lot of it had to do with the oh God, I don't know. They just kept it in their time, didn't they? With the old clothes and old cars and stuff like that. And
like, what was it? I was on Shay's channel a few months ago, and we were covering Christine, another John Carpenter movie. Yeah, and that was set in the 60s, but that is still watchable. That is like as engaging today to watch as it was back then. And that's, still using the costumes and all from the 60s, but it just had a look about it. Like even the camera, even the camera work looks crisp and like today's standard. The camera work in this, some of the shots, it just really has not
dodgy.
aged well. Just dodgy and old looking, as in faded, or just there's something about it that's not aged well, which is a shame because it was an original idea for a movie, and as a premise, as a horror movie, it's good,
Yeah, the concept's amazing, isn't it? Really? Yeah. No, the concept's brilliant, but it's just dated. It's so dated. It's ridiculous. I mean, we've watched, because it kind of gave me Peter Jackson vibes from his earlier sort of videos. So
I wouldn't say it was that good.
Well, not as good. No, definitely not. But it sort of had the, it was around the same time. Yeah, they were made about the same time. So, and they both pushed the boundaries and did taboo, went over cross the line on a lot of different things that wouldn't be acceptable today. But, as a whole, I think as a standalone, it's okay. But I think, they needed to sort it out with the Halloween thing. I mean, I don't know. Well, I was expecting to see Michael Myers. And when I didn't see him, it was like, well, okay, this is supposed to be a standalone one. I read it in Wikipedia. It's supposed to be a standalone one. So, well, it worked as a standalone one. So,
yeah, just studios being studios.
Yeah.
Studios have been like when Steve and I were doing classic horror, we were looking at movies from the 50s and 60s, and guess what? Yeah. Studios still managed to mess up movies back then. It's just a studio thing; they just can't help themselves.
got to, they've got to mess everything up. Yeah. It's like that's what they do it for, It's just like, oh my God. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, the old too many cooks spoil the broth analogy comes
Yeah.
to mind.
Yep. Absolutely. It's true, isn't it?
But yeah, we'll start off with a guy getting chased, and he's got one of the Silver Shamrock Halloween masks, and he's sort of carrying it, and he's running. We sort of see this chase scene.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the music, like you said, the old duh,
Yeah.
it doesn't work. It doesn't. It actually makes it comical rather than tension.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
It might have worked at the time, but because it was new and techno. But I'm just thinking, no, it's like no, it has the opposite effect. Actually, it reduces the
Yes.
tension.
It does. It does. It does. It adds that very like you said, it's comedic feel, like very quite cheesy. I think nowadays because. We've watched horrors that have got amazing musical scores, and their soundtracks are just as good as the movie. I'm looking up with Devil's Rejects and all that sort of stuff. They've got amazing music and stuff like that. And then you look back to the 80s, and all they did was use synthesizers and techno and stuff that's really outdated now. It's to us, it's cheesy. If we saw it in a horror, we'd be pissing ourselves laughing,
Oh yeah,
So
it's a comedy horror. You think they're just taking the mic, but then again, this is a score by John Carpenter. He composed the original Halloween score, one of the most iconic. Even non-horror fans hear that tune and know exactly what it is.
Yep.
The soundtrack, using the songs in radio for Christine, for example, brilliant. And other stuff he's done. No, you recognize John Carpenter. You can recognize this as John Carpenter's work, but he's just went complete cheeseballs. And yeah, sorry, but it has not aged well, unlike us.
Not at all. Yeah, like a fine wine. It hasn't aged well. No.
We'll see him go through this. It's supposed to be a car sales place, but oh my God, like, would a bit of soap and water have hurt? Like, is that really going to eat into the proprietor's profits? Like, those cars were stinking.
I actually thought it was a car dumping yard, but it's not. They were for sale.
Yeah. You would think it was a scrapyard, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Yeah. Then I realized, I was like, how the hell did that end up being a bloody shop? A car dealership. It was cheapers. It looked like the horror trope of the haunted car yard. That's what it looked like, but it wasn't even. So it's like they even made that look dusty and old, and now looking at it, it's just like, oh God, that was terrible looking setting. But oh well, it was good for what it was, for the purpose of the movie. It was all right. They got away with it, but yeah, I could imagine. Yeah,
I think they're trying to say that the town is practically abandoned or something. They're trying to convey something, but it doesn't work.
Yeah. I mean, it's like they're trying to convey that they've got, this town is we own this town and we do this and this is just the way it goes and blah 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 blah. The curfews and the all that sort of stuff. It was just like I didn't get it. I didn't get it at the beginning. No, not at all. So I don't know.
I think they were trying to overcomplicate a simple plot.
Yeah, because it's a very simple plot. It is, and it's got too overcomplicated, especially when they pulled in the Stonehenge element. That was like, and then it was yeah. Anyway,
well, I think that was the interesting part.
Oh, absolutely, but it got really convoluted, didn't
it? The robots.
Yeah.
I don't think we needed the robots.
Not at all.
I think they actually ruined the movie.
Well,
So we'll have the guys getting
Yeah.
chased, and basically they're all going about in suits, lifeless expressions. So you know that they're not human or something's strange about them.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and they didn't
It
even
kind of
bring
gave me
weapons.
the no, they didn't. They're not armed or anything. It kind of gave me the Men in Black vibes sort of thing, but it didn't work out. I don't know. Yeah, and weapons. You'd think they'd have weapons.
Mm.
I
It
mean,
was
mind you, they are that strong that they can. Well, that's kind of where it got messy because they're quite strong, where they can do quite a lot of damage to a human's head, but they're so weak. If you just stab them in the chest, they die. It's like,
yeah,
huh? So I could
and they're
stab you. I could
slow and
shoot you.
cumbersome.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Absolutely. Just
I don't know. I'm just thinking that was the worst aspect. That was the bit that if they had chopped all that out, this and just had a few good henchmen.
yeah.
The
Not.
cast, they could have half the cast for a start,
Yep.
and just it took away
Yeah.
from this, the whole plot. It was just an extra bit or an extra layer that really didn't add anything.
It's like they were adding bits and pieces into it to fill up some of the space in the film that just didn't need to be there. I don't know. They could have done a lot better with a lot of things, but those henchmen, I mean, they were ridiculous. They were just ridiculous. Seriously, I just like all I could think of was Men in Black, The Matrix. Is that the original way that they were supposed to be? I don't know, but they seemed strong, then they seemed weak, and then there's too many of them in one scene, and it was like, huh? Just
And
fell apart.
Nobody has a sense of danger about them. Like to see this, if you saw this and it was a toy factory, you'd be like, no, I'm out of here. Something's not right.
Yeah. I mean, who the hell would go into there unless, I mean, you go in there and you know straight away there's something wrong. There's all these strange looking men walking around and following you and all this sort of stuff. When the family turned up there and at the factory and stuff like that, it was just like, oh, that's a bit overkill. That's what it was. It was overkill.
Yeah. It's like they weren't confident in the story. And this was made by committee, as in a load of executives have got involved with this and just thought, oh, this will be good. This will be good. And yeah. You can feel the weight of it all on the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
But
there was something, anyway.
We get Tom Adkins playing a drunken deadbeat. What a shock. That's like his only character ever he plays.
Really? Oh, God.
He's like Donald Pleasance, Donald Pleasance plays the same character all the time. A beaten up alcoholic, and he was on real life. I don't know about Tom Adkins, but that's always the character he plays.
How
Tyler,
bizarre.
the downbeat detective, this whatever, just disenfranchised with life, and just happens to be the hero of the story. Like, it's funny.
Yeah. Strange, but yeah. But yeah. Oh well.
One thing I'll say though, because he turns up at his ex-wife's for Halloween, and he brings the sort of cheap and nasty masks, thinking he's doing something. Now, this guy's a doctor.
Yeah.
And he brings something like you get out of the bargain bin, in a paper bag.
Yeah.
Like, how much of a mess are you, mate?
Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't care. Yeah. He don't give a shit. He don't give a shit about his kids. That's quite obvious.
Oh, yeah, well, that's obvious in this movie. Like,
yeah.
What was the point of the wife and kids plot anyway? They don't
It
provide
did not
motivation.
need to be there. It did not need to be there. I mean, I got confused when he walked into the house. He hands over the masks, then he leaves again. I'm like, okay, all right, what's going on? First of all, I thought he was a cop because I didn't know the storyline and all that sort of stuff. So first I thought, well, obviously he's a copper because he's, just walked in, dropped masks off. He's got a call. He has to go back to work. And they're like, oh, no, he's a doctor. Oh, okay. Well, you were a weird-looking doctor, but anyway,
He doesn't carry
I
himself as a professional. Like you would not get.
no, he doesn't. Oh God, no. That's why I thought he was a cop because of some of the yeah, right. But yeah. I do not understand why the kids were in it. I don't understand why the ex-wife's in there bitching over the phone. It did nothing to the storyline. It just complicated it.
If it had been his kids had been invited to go to Silver Shamrock and he was trying to save them and give him a motivation, I would get it.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Or he runs after, he gets to them just in time, just to save them. But I won't spoil it. But
they're trying to
it
show
didn't
him that
even
he's a
happen.
deadbeat to have
Deadbeat dad.
a redemption moment, but he's not a good character.
It didn't
As in,
happen. No.
his character is not a good person. You're not rooting for him. He's a scumbag.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he basically is. He's a flirt and he's a bloody unprofessional doctor.
Yeah. Oh God, when he felt the nurse's bum.
I know.
I'm like, holy fuck! That's if that doesn't get you punched, like
That's
what the
sexual
hell?
harassment nowadays.
But even no, not even nowadays. Back then, that was sexual harassment. It was just
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
still like I grew up knowing that you don't do that. It's not like it was what, you don't just grab women randomly by the arse. Oh,
Yeah.
we'll learn this in 20 days. No, that was always a thing that you didn't do that. That was wrong,
No.
and it would get you a slap right and quickly.
Oh, absolutely.
But I think this is Hollywood again. Hollywood are filth. Like they really are degenerates.
Oh, they
And this is their world. That's what they get up to. But what they've done is they've been doing this for so long that it actually finally bit them in the arse. And now they're projecting this guilt as if it's the people's fault for them being the way they are.
Oh, yeah.
They're trying to, this whole virtue signaling stuff. It's like they know they're scumbags, but they won't face up to it. So I know, let's blame the customer and put it away from ourselves, then we can act moral. It's like, no, just don't be dickheads.
Yeah.
And this is the sort of stuff they're putting out as if it was normal, but it was never normal in society. That as much. If somebody just came up to you and grabbed you by the backside, you'd have words to say, if not punches.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've punched someone who's done that to, I've done it.
Even if it was the 80s, that you know what I mean? You'd be like, you wouldn't just be like, oh.
Yeah, and think it's funny and no. It's like they just randomly decide, we'll just change the world around and we'll just make it this way and it's okay to do this and it's okay to do that. And it's like, well, yeah, it's okay to do that, but plot fail, It's like, yeah, nah, you're just adding more cheese on top of more cheese.
Yeah, there's loads of different cheeses here. Yeah. One thing I'll say, the masks look good.
They did. I loved the witch mask. That was amazing. Yeah.
Like even for today, they're good standard masks.
Definitely. Yeah, and the concept of the masks in this is really well done. I think that's considering it's quite cheesy. I think the premise of it is quite well done, and you can see the different quality. Like say in the masks, the Shamrock masks compared to the old plastic ones that he bought to his kids.
God, they weren't even.
Yeah,
they weren't even good for back then. Like that was the bargain bin, the 50p masks or something.
Yes.
If you'd
Yeah.
ran out of stuff for Halloween, that's not you didn't buy those unless you were like stuck.
No.
So
Yeah.
even at that, a
Yeah.
professional, a doctor, that's the best he can come up with. Like he couldn't
Yeah.
even send. Like he's a bit of a flirt. He obviously has oh god, what'd you call her? The
Oh, Ellie.
no,
Ellie?
not Ellie. Terry, the lab
Oh,
assistant.
right.
He
Yep.
has people like her in his thrall and do his favors. So
I know.
you're telling me he couldn't have smooshed round the receptionist and asked her to nip out and pick him up a couple of nice masks for his kids and being all sweet about it? You're telling me that, on one hand he's like Mr. Cool dude that has everybody on his thrall and can talk people around, but he couldn't have done that so that he just looked the big man coming home. Like his character
Yeah.
doesn't add up.
Not at all. From day dot, from the minute I met him, I knew there was something not right about this guy.
Mm.
He's just, I mean, I don't actually remember him acting in anything, but he just didn't even suit the part. He don't looked all wrong.
Okay, he's been Night of the
Look
Creeps.
at the
That's
top.
he plays the same character. Hang on, I need to look because he's one of them. You know me with remember stuff on the
Actors.
spot.
Yeah.
Maniac Cop. He was a Maniac Cop. Night of the Creeps. The Fog.
Yes, see? That's where I've seen him, and he's been a cop.
Escape from New York. He was in Escape from New York. He played the same sort of.
Yeah. So he carries himself off as a cop character, actually not a doctor. So it's kind of that's why I got quite confused at the beginning.
Yeah, because you're like, he's been in Creep Show.
Yep, saw that. Yep.
Yeah.
The Jury. He's been in.
Yeah, he's been loads of
Law and Order. I think I read up on that. Yeah.
Trying to think of anything. Oh god, that's a cheesy one.
Oh, what's that?
Maniac Cop with God. Oh my god, Nicolas Cage, a young Nicolas Cage.
Oh my
god, he's in TJ Hooker. He's been loaded police procedurals. Yeah, so he basically plays the same character.
Right.
He's one of them actors. You're like, okay, that's Tom Atkins. He's playing his drunken deadbeat character again. That's him. But this character, at least the other ones made sense. Like Night of the Creeps, his character made sense. This one doesn't because it's all over the place.
Yeah. And he's a doctor doing the work of a cop.
Yes.
How does that work out? Why didn't they just make him a cop?
It would have been better.
Yeah, it would have made sense.
He didn't want to be typecast, so he's like, I don't want to play a drunken cop. Can I play a drunken doctor instead?
Yeah. But I'll still act like a drunken cop anyway. Yeah. Oh, crikey. I know. That's hilarious.
Oh, but the scene in the hospital, so obviously the guy's brought into the hospital because he managed to escape the goons. I can't even remember now how it happened. I only watched this yesterday and I can't even remember. It's just that, in the plot's just that, what the hell's happening? I give up. I'm not even going to try and make sense of it.
Yeah, that's one of those.
Everything conveniently has to fall into line so the plot can carry forward and don't worry about logic.
Yeah, but definitely.
For somebody trying to keep a secret, they're not very good at it because he ends up in the hospital. The robot goon comes in, rips his face apart.
Yeah. Wow. That was horrific.
Yeah, but once again, if you were trying to be discreet, that's not the way to do it.
No,
if you're
not at
not
all.
To bring attention to yourself and have your plan move forward, you don't do that. But not only that, there, see the corridor chase scene? That was awful.
Oh my goodness.
Scott Adkins, he's down at one end of the corridor, like you can see the end, and this thing is moving like slowly, and he goes full sprint
Oh my God,
and
I
still can't catch it.
know.
Like he sees him walk into the door, and he sprints up the corridor, and that's only like not even 50 meters.
I
And he
know.
can't catch this thing plodding at a
Can't get
snail's
him.
pace.
Yeah, nah, didn't make sense. The pacing was all off anyway.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Andy.
Yeah.
Greetings.
Greetings.
Colin's not here tonight. He doesn't do streams anymore.
What?
It's past his bed.
Oh. Oh dear. Yeah, no, because remember that guy that ran away, he ended up in the workshop with the black guy who took him to hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. That's how he ended up in hospital, and that's how the doctor got involved. That's right. Because the nurse screamed.
But once again, would they not have just taken out the both of them? There was enough of them. It was like a whole carload of these robot things.
I know. I know. Why not go in and annihilate everybody?
I mean, they don't
care. They're robots.
Yeah, but at the petrol station, there's only 2 of them. Would it not have been easier just to take out the 2 at the petrol station instead of waiting, letting them get away and going to the hospital where there's loads of witnesses?
Yeah.
But I suppose we need Dan's character to get. Is it Dan? I don't care. Dan, yeah.
Daniel. Yeah, Dr. Dan Challis or whatever.
Yeah. Just get Dan's character. The plot had to happen. That's so contrived. But even the guy, the petrol station attendant, that scene where he says, "Can I go now?" How long did that go on for?
Too long. And then he basically went running out like he was scared or something. And it's like, what? Oh, I just didn't get it. I didn't get it. I don't understand why his character had to stay there or even had to be in the hospital. You know, he could have dropped him off and just left.
Yeah, I just said that, but he hung about, and about 4 times it's, "Can I go now? Can I go now?" And it served no purpose.
No, it didn't. It was a waste of dialogue, and it was a waste of a character because he didn't need to be there in the first place. So then you know, oh, okay, there's something wrong with this movie.
There's a lot wrong with it.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, so got this dopey after the guy leaves, and then the robot comes in to kill the guy who's lying, like having a fit, holding on to the mask for dear life. Like, and then he randomly gets lucid, and then he goes back into his. Oh, I don't know. I
don't know either. Nah.
He gets his head.
I mean, how can you hold on to a mask when you're unconscious?
You don't. Your body kind of goes wibble.
Limp. Yeah. Okay.
I have been knocked out once or twice in my life. It's you don't hold on to anything.
No. Sorry. Anyway.
But yeah. I suppose the plot needs to happen. We need to know it's the mask. The characters need to know it's the mask.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Scott, Dan runs 50 meters, and the thing has enough time to go into the car, open a can of petrol, pour it over itself, and set itself on fire.
Yeah.
In that distance.
Yeah, I know.
And there's no security, nothing. And the nurse couldn't hit the panic button.
Oh, no. Button. Yes, of course. But no. I just don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's a real B budget movie, isn't it? It really is.
It is.
I mean, it's not supposed to be.
4.6 million is not to be sniffed at in 1984.
I know. Yes, 1982 or something. That's right. That's quite a lot of money.
And in fairness, it did make 14.4, so it's done all right, and it still gets rewatched. And people like us are still talking about it today. So It's not an
Yeah.
insignificant movie.
No, not at all. I mean, it's and plus it's supposed to be part of the franchise, so of course it's
Mm.
but we can ignore the fact that it's got nothing to do with it. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's obviously was quite good for its time. I can't remember watching it. I've never watched this one at all. I remember this one being the nothing had anything to do with Michael Myers, so I never bothered watching it. But I'm kind of glad I did. Just to say I've watched it. Now I've probably watched all of them. Yeah. So
It's
yeah.
Halloween is my least favorite of the long run franchises. Anyway.
Really? Mine's Scream.
Oh, that's not even. I don't even entertain that. That's a pile of shit.
Yeah.
That's,
Well, I mean, come on, Rob Zombie's Halloween. Oh, that was awesome.
but as a franchise as a whole, Halloween's my least favorite because it's all over the place. That's my issue with it.
It is. The whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, if you look at it as a whole, you can look at isolated bits. But as a whole, the franchise just it doesn't know what it wants to do.
No, not at all. No. And you can tell that quite obviously when you watch them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was a whole even the Michael Myers ones, they can't decide whether he's human or supernatural. Like they still try to make up their minds about that. And that once again, it's about having that clear. Like Friday the 13th, it took about 3 movies to sort itself out, and then it had its theme.
Yes.
A Nightmare on Elm Street is very sure of itself and knows exactly what it is and what it's doing. Yep. Leprechaun, Chris and I are reviewing at the moment, knows exactly what it is.
Yep.
There's Jeepers Creepers, knows what it is.
Yep. That's right.
I'm trying to think what else. Wishmaster, I can't wait to do that. Them ones are so much fun.
Yeah.
But those movies know exactly what they are.
Yeah. That's right.
So you look at most of the long run franchises, they know what they are. They know what they're about. The Halloween series is the one that has the least confidence in itself. It just doesn't know what it's doing. And I think it's because it was a standalone movie that wasn't meant to be a franchise and it got shoehorned into one and the wrong people couldn't storyboard or couldn't plan it out.
Yep. Or there's no real writer there or something's happened anyway.
Yeah, it's disjointed. That's the thing.
Yeah, it is. It is, because then when you go and watch Rob Zombie's one, it's just completely different altogether, It's like, yeah, I don't know. I suppose that's what happens when you get different writers and different directors in, and then, the production company and all that sort of stuff. I suppose they all just want to mess around with it. But
but if you don't... Somebody... Sorry.
Yeah, you need like a diagnosis, right? You need to know what you're watching. You know what I mean? Just the difference between who Michael Myers is, whether or not he's a supernatural being or an entity or real, that's going to leave the watcher very confused. So that franchise is probably not going to be as popular as, say, Scream, even though I don't like Scream, but that is quite a popular thing. Saw and all those sorts of things. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, you need a lore master or a team in charge of the lore, the canon.
Yes.
So once you have something established as a franchise, you need somebody that says this either goes across the desk or it doesn't. And a thing that really winds me up about directors, especially like Hollywood, they think they're the writer.
They do.
Their job is to translate what's on paper on the screen.
Yep.
And especially lately, they have this idea that they're making it their vision, they're going to change it for themselves, and it's like, that's not what your job is. And that's why so many people are fed up, pissed off with, especially Hollywood, because they're changing things because they don't have the ability to write their own story.
They can't.
So they leech on to something that's already been created.
Yeah.
And then they're just trying to change it enough to make it theirs.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, why? If you're really that invested, and seeing your vision, make something yourself. Here's an idea as well: finance it yourself. Stop.
Yes.
These are civil servants. These are the civil servants of entertainment. I've said this, and the more I see stuff like this, the more I believe it. They don't want to take risks individually. They want the big studio to take all the risks, and they just turn up like a civil servant. They think the money comes off the money tree; it doesn't have to be earned, and they don't want to take any risks, but they've no ability or talent. Like
Yep.
also, you know yourself, civil servant doesn't matter what country, they don't attract the best people.
No. No, not
And
at all.
it's that lazy sort of attitude, box ticking of I'm just going to do what's necessary to I get paid.
Yep.
And make it look as if I'm doing something rather than actually doing something, because they wouldn't
Yep.
last in the real world.
Well,
And I think it's the same with these Hollywood folks. They wouldn't last
yep.
in the indie sphere. They get forgotten about.
Hell no. No.
Without the
Not at
big
all.
budget, without the handshakes and the friends backing them up, then they'd be nothing. Look at the ones that tried to become YouTubers. All the Hollywood stars, they've failed. Every one of them failed.
Yeah, no, because the other thing about that as well is that we don't know if you're real. So you know, we don't know if it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. They've tried and it's not working. But what was I going to say? Oh God, I can't remember now. But Hollywood, right? Writers. You'd expect that the writer would have more say than, say, the director. I don't know, because the writer is the one that's writing the story up. So if people are coming in and interfering with the storyline, which is obviously what's happened here, because there's no cohesion in this. I don't know if you noticed, but it's like there was no chemistry at all between anyone. There was nothing.
Scene to scene.
Eh?
Even from scene to scene, there's no cohesion from one scene to another scene, never mind acts or like story.
Yeah, exactly. It was just like, what the hell was going on here? Nobody knows what each other's supposed to be doing. It's like, and we watched really good, indie films that we see them working hard together, and we see the chemistry. We can see that backstage, the high-fiving and eating and, hanging out and stuff. But this one, it was just like, I bet they don't even know each other's real names. You know what I mean? It just felt that it was just made for the purpose of being a convoluted piece of shit. I don't know. It was just
shoehorned into a franchise where it doesn't belong.
Yeah, I know.
And I could get the argument. I'm actually thinking about it now. The argument that John Carpenter wanted to. I keep saying Clive. I've got Clive Barker in my head, and I don't know why, because this isn't. Clive Barker wouldn't insult himself with this sort of crap, but John Carpenter said it was meant to be an individual movies. If this had been Halloween 2, I would go with that. But the fact that it's Halloween 3 and there's already been a sequel, that actually blows that argument out of the water now I think about it.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
This movie was shoehorned in for absolutely no reason.
No reason. Yep. And you can tell that. You can tell that nobody wanted really, God, they didn't know what the hell they were doing. The acting was crap. Oh, my God. Was it crap? Oh, my God.
But even funnier than that, we've got the aftermath of the guy getting killed and the robot burning itself alive, etc., etc. Ellie turns up, the daughter.
Yeah.
And she gets told by the admin staff at the hospital where Dan hangs out, which bar he hangs out at when he's off duty. Like, first of all, what the hell's going on with confidentiality? Nobody does that.
No, nobody does that. No. They don't even give over phone numbers, let alone, oh, he drinks down at this bar down the road.
Yeah. Even in the 80s, they didn't do that.
No, they didn't. They didn't. No. So, you know, when she said that, I mean, why couldn't they have said something else? Oh, I followed you here. You know, why couldn't she have followed him there? What is it? Oh, that's so lazy just to say the receptionist told me you were here. That's lazy. Yeah. I would have written that and gone, nah, that doesn't make sense because the receptionist is not going to tell them where this doctor is. I
Or he could have
mean,
been
you
getting
know,
off shift and she just met him and wanted to talk to him and they could have just went to
bumped
the
into him in
bar.
the car park or something. I mean, what about that scene where she's standing in the hallway and he's looking at her like he's going to go and approach her, but then she looks at him and then she looks back and goes back to crying. It's like, well, why didn't he approach her then and say, oh, would you like to go and have a talk about it? We can go and have something to, you know, we can go sit outside and have a coffee or something. You know, that's what, I don't know. I could have written this better. Sorry, but little old me could have done that better.
This is like there's no
Bonkers.
consistency.
No.
You need to go back and time your writing tips and like make them all sit down and watch them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, right. Oh God,
This is a case study what not to do.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, 100%.
And we're not even talking about special effects, locations. I think this is just pure dialogue and scenes being set up that do not make sense.
That don't work. They don't work. They're ridiculous, especially the scene in the bloody motel. Please, oh, as if a doctor. Oh my God. Okay. Anyway, carry on before I blow it.
So they meet in the bar. He's getting sozzled, and and he's not even bothered about his. He get called away. Obviously, when he's supposed to be seeing his kids. Next, like, was he not going to go and see them the next day or come back? They're sort of written out of the thing as if they're not there. So,
yeah, they're invisible characters, right? They're invisible side characters that didn't need to be there. They don't need to be there. Why does he even have to have children or have an ex-wife? Why does he need to be fighting on the phone with her? It adds nothing. It's redundant. If I was writing it, I would have cut all that out. You know, there's no. Why have an ex-wife? Didn't add to anything. Why have children? You're not even playing the father role, so
nothing. And also, then that doesn't. If he's a piece of shit, why does Ellie fall for him?
Oh God, he's not even attractive. I mean, come on.
Yeah. She meets him. He's come off shift. He hasn't showered. He's in the bar getting sozzled. And does he? He doesn't change his clothes at all the entire movie, does he?
No, he's still wearing the same clothes.
So this is all a space of like he's going to be ripe.
Yeah. And I have to bring up the fact she didn't even shed a tear about her father.
Oh, he was forgotten about like the next scene. It wasn't even like, oh, we're going to go investigate and we're on a jolly road trip, but her grief like was gone.
Yeah. Yeah, you've just been told your dad's died, and then there's no tears, there's no. But then all of a sudden,
she viewed the body.
Yeah, I know. And she didn't go, oh my God. Oh. No fake acting, no crying, just shit. It was just nothing.
I'm pretty sure if I saw one of my parents with their skull smashed in, I'd be a bit annoyed and upset.
Just a tad bit.
Yeah, it's not even like a random body. It's like your father or mother, you know, with his skull smashed in for no reason. Because all he does is sell Halloween masks. He's not even a gangster or anything.
I know.
There'd be a sense of injustice. She's just like, yeah, I'm going with the drunk, smelly guy.
Yeah,
on an adventure.
Right? Oh my God. Yeah, but And then I don't get that. She's not crying, but then she wants to find out what happened to her father. She really, really loved him so much. She needs to. She's compelled to know what happened to her father, but she couldn't even cry when she saw her father's face smashed in. I mean, oh God, blimey, it's terrible, lazy writing.
Yep. And what motivation does Dan have to go and investigate this? What
Why does he even
motivation?
give a shit? Yeah. What he doesn't, why would he give a shit about a patient who's been, I mean, he wasn't even a patient. He makes it sound like he was his patient. But he was only just brought in as an emergency. So no, he wasn't your patient.
And he was covering
It's
another
not,
doctor.
it's exactly.
And this all happened in the space of a couple of hours.
Yeah.
So there's no bond or rapport or any reason for him to go, curses! I will have my revenge, Silver Shamrock. I am going to hunt you down.
Exactly.
There's no reason for any of this to be happening.
No. Definitely not. Yes,
And
he chose
he's
a
going to
doozy.
disappear for a couple of days, leave his kids, who he's already gotten shit for because he had to go back on call after just turning up.
Yep.
And the next day, instead of going to make things right, he goes to the bar. And then he makes up an excuse. It's like,
Why?
I have nothing here. Help me out.
Yeah, why? Why? Why can't they just keep things simple? You know? I don't just. Was there even a writer? I have to check.
I think there were post-it notes.
Yeah, I think so too. Yep.
If it was done today, remember those emails? Do people still do that? The tell a story threads where somebody writes a part of a story, somebody does the next, and then it just gets convoluted because people jump in at the wrong place because it never works. It works for about the first 5 lines and then falls to pieces.
Yeah.
I think that's what's happened here.
I think so too.
Except it was post-it notes, and the post-it notes got blown about, and they just picked up the first one and just went with it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what they did. I could tell. Oh, crikey.
And then, what was it? Because of Silver Shamrock, they're like, Irish Halloween masks?
Yeah.
And you're just like, huh?
How did that happen?
No, but that's just a silly American thing of, oh, we invented Halloween sort of thing. Where, yeah, they might have popularized it, but the idea of Samhain, Halloween, and All Hallows Eve's been about for centuries before
That's right.
America was even a country. And you're like,
yeah.
And this guy is confused. And you're like,
yeah.
What? I just didn't. I that one I just gave up on.
Oh.
And considering the fact most Americans think they're Irish as well. So then they were confused by somebody deciding to make. I was just. Why?
I know. I've got no idea. I don't get it. I really didn't get it. I don't know. I didn't understand the Irish bit in it. Why weren't they speaking Irish then? Are they American? Oh, I just got lost.
There were plastic patties. They weren't Irish. They were plastic patties. They're a horrible creature.
Yeah.
And when they arrive in the town, and to be sure, I'm like, oh my god, this is the horror. This is the true horror of this movie. Are those accents?
Oh my god, I know, and it's a real put down, isn't it? I mean,
I nearly died of cringe. I'm just like, oh my god.
Do you not think it's a bit offensive? You know, I mean, you being from Ireland and everything, I would have been a bit offended.
It's not even offensive. It's just tragic.
Well, that's right.
It's tragic watching somebody do that. You're like, really? That's what you think? Okay. and you just laugh. No point getting offended by them. You just laugh at them because they're the joke.
They are totally. Yep.
Oh God,
It was stupid. That plot bit was stupid.
It's still funny, like to this day, when Brad Pitt attempted to do a Northern Irish accent, and he was awful.
Oh God!
For one of them, silly IRA movies, and
and
oh,
it must be a bit hard to have to maintain a whole accent the whole way through a movie, right? I mean, you've got so many different.
Let's be honest. The rest of the cast have about 5 lines of dialogue, like the entire movie, so it doesn't really matter with this lot. Like, the hotel owner has about 3 lines of dialogue.
Yep, you're right.
The robots don't have any.
No, that's right. So, yeah, no, very strange. Very strange adaptation. Weird. It was weird. It was just, I don't know. It kind of reminded me of like an old Don Johnson movie, you know? I don't know. It was just so strange and bizarre to me. Anyway, it's just me. I'm strange and bizarre myself, so
yeah, but you make sense. This movie doesn't.
Yeah, I suppose so. Sometimes I make sense. But I seriously don't think there was a writer in there at all. Look at my lashes. I look like a crazy person. Yeah. God, Halloween, eh?
Yeah, it has
Halloween.
to be done.
Yes, absolutely.
But, yeah. Now I'm trying to think. Okay, so we've got the go into the creepy town, to the creepy motel.
Gosh.
And nobody's getting a sense of, I'm not liking this place.
Everybody's staring at them. They're looking at everybody. Everyone's looking at them. Like, did you not get the idea that there's something going on in this town? It's a bit dodgy.
But not only out there, this is where the factory is, where people travel through on a regular basis. We'll meet character Bea, forget her,
Yes.
who's obnoxious, but we'll get told in that they make regular trips to the factory to pick up stuff, and sometimes the order isn't ready, so they'll have to stay overnight because obviously there's no
that's right,
ringing ahead or anything. You just turn up.
Yep.
So they should be used to people. And especially when they're not getting into the town proper, they're getting into the hotel and whatever's within walking distance.
Yes.
But we had to know the town was creepy because we couldn't figure that out. We had to have that telegraphed to us. You know, that was a tell, don't show moment.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Everybody comes out. Everybody has a look. Everyone's like dodgy looking. Oh my goodness. Who the hell would want to go to that? I mean, what? Oh, don't even. No, sorry. I was just about to just go somewhere else completely then. Oh, because I'm just like, oh, no. We'll get there eventually. Sorry. I was just thinking about the scene in the hotel, on the motel. Oh my God. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh.
But we'll have to get before that happens, we'll have to get the random creepy limo.
Oh God.
When Colin turns up and everyone's like, great man. You're like, no, he's not, he's a villain. Like, you just telegraphed that he's a villain. Come on.
Dr. Evil.
Yeah. It is. Bum, bum, bum.
Exactly. Oh, Conrad. It's everybody, it's just Mr. Conrad. It's like, oh, he must be freaky or something.
He's the villain. Okay, right. Okay, we've got it. He's the villain. Calm down.
Yeah.
But the one
singular.
They told us
about 100 times.
The one
they told us about 100 times. Yeah, the one singular limo. The only one in town belongs to Conrad. Yeah. It looked like a hearse.
I was getting Phantasm vibes, to be honest.
Right, yeah.
I was thinking Phantasm. It was just giving me the tall man sort of vibes, but just not as good.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I can see that. Oh God.
But yeah, um, them will have the hookup
Mm,
because Dan's like,
God.
"Do you mind if is it going to be comfortable?" They're posing as a married couple, and then he's like, "Do you want me to go sleep in the car?" It's like, "Do you think I want you to go sleep in the car?" And just randomly they get it on, and you're like, "Why?"
Didn't your dad just die? Isn't that like the last thing on your mind, Chicky? Nope.
But it's so
Okay.
random as well.
It was though. It was random as. I
These
mean, of
people
course she
met a
was.
day before, like a day before, and there's like no. It's not even as if they met in a bar and got drunk or anything. It's they just met a day before a major traumatic event, and all of a sudden they're on an adventure together, and then that's it. They've decided they're hooking up. And there's no reason for it.
There was no reason for it other than to show boobies. That was it.
You didn't even see the boobies. He covered them.
Oh
We
God,
count on
gross.
this channel.
Eh?
We check on this channel. We're very thorough about these sort of things.
I know you and Chris are very thorough about that. Yes. Yes, absolutely. But
No baby
yeah, there
goes
was
unmissed on this channel.
oh exactly. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was just so contrived.
Didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. It was the middle of the day as well. It's
Yeah.
like,
Well,
ew.
can't.
I mean, come on. I mean, oh my God. It's not like they're bloody in their 20s and, they're adults on a mission that actually had a task to
Yeah,
do. But, oh no, let's go have sex first.
yep.
Okay. All right. Good priorities. God. It was nonsense. Nonsense.
But that's not even the worst of it because it gets worse.
Oh, yeah, it gets way worse.
Because then we find out that the town has a curfew and that there's cameras and speakers all throughout this town. Why?
Why? It's not like they're doing anything in the bloody town anyway. I mean,
Would it not be better if the town acted and looked normal and prosperous and then it would cover the tracks?
that would make sense. That would make sense. And then I'm like, okay, so who are all these people that live in the town? Because they don't work at the factory because there's only robots working at the factory.
Mm-hmm.
So why are there humans living in that township?
Under curfew?
Under a curfew. Why would you choose to live at a place like that? It made no sense, right? To me, it's like you wouldn't go there because you're not working in the factory.
Mm-hmm.
You might work in a dairy, but you could work in a dairy in some other place. You don't
Yeah,
need to
you
be
wouldn't stay in
in.
the town. There's no.
You wouldn't. No, it just made no sense.
Yep. But then we've got random drunken hobo guy because even though there's a curfew, the off license is open, so Tom Adkins can go buy booze so that you don't forget that he's an alco. Just in case you forgot
Yeah,
from up to
yeah,
this
just in
point in the
case.
movie that he's got a drink problem.
Yeah,
You get reminded because he goes to the store.
yeah. Oh, and he brings it out in a paper bag just to
Yep.
add more to the fact that he's an alcoholic. Because only alcoholics drink out of paper bags.
Yeah, that's. But then we've got the random drunken hobo guy.
Yes, who wants to make a stand?
What, he's been living there forever,
Yeah.
and then
Why is
all of
he
a
still there?
sudden, he's
Yeah,
a problem.
yeah. Just out of the blue, just because the doctor happened to walk past. And who would share their alcohol with a bum?
Well, let's be honest.
He
Dan isn't much
wants
better off on him. At least the hobo guy's honest about being a drunken idiot.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, actually said
Oh,
that. Did I'll respect the smackhead on the streets more because at least they're honest. It's the one that I can give up any time and goes on about it are the ones I have got a problem with because they're liars
total. Yep,
and you can't trust
absolutely.
liars. So Dan's
Yeah.
character I've less respect for than the hobo guy. The hobo guy just owns it. Yeah, I'm an alcoholic. I'm a waster. Blah blah blah.
Yes,
I just
yes.
living out my life. But it doesn't answer the fact that what did he say or do that made the robots decide that he had to be taken out now when he's been obviously living in this town forever?
Causing, yep, and probably been causing trouble over
And
the last
he's
few weeks
been
or
causing trouble and throwing stuff at the cameras
for a
and talking
while.
about burning the town. This is not new, but now it's a problem.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's a problem. Is that because he told an outsider? Perhaps is what I was thinking.
Yeah, but do you really
But
think they haven't twigged on from the minute he arrived in that they're here not for the reasons that they say? Because they're not being
exactly.
obvious about it.
No. Right. They're asking questions around town about it, and people are getting suspicious, and yeah. I don't know.
I just give up. It's like,
I don't know. I get even the families that were coming into the to stay in the motel. Okay, that kind of made sense.
if they
What
hadn't
happened
been,
to them?
doesn't though either.
It does. It doesn't because of Margaret, who was laser faced,
Mm,
or when it misfired. Um, that was supposed to obviously add something, but it didn't.
It
It
actually
didn't
took
at all.
away from the reveal.
It See, that's what happens. They reveal shit too early. This is another thing I talk about in writing is don't
Mm,
reveal things too early because then you later on when you need to have some sort of effect on the reader or the writer or the viewer, it's not as heightened as it should be
mm,
because you've already given away some of the you've revealed a bit too much,
yeah.
and I think that was the case here as well. So there, it was kind of quite stable. There was no real nice up and downs, and I don't know. It just it was a lot. It was flat. That's
Hmm.
what I. It was a flat line. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, talking about flatlines as well. Then we'll have Ellie decides she obviously packed her emergency sexy underwear
Oh yes.
because that's what you need when you're trying to find out who
Yeah.
killed your dad. Just emergency sexy underwear. And
Oh, absolutely.
she gets out of a hot shower and acts as if it's what I mean. The steam's billowing everywhere, and she's acting as if it's cold.
I know.
And you're like, so they can't even get that right.
And who the hell grabs a blanket off a bed to use as a towel? Please tell me. Is that normal? It can't be normal.
No, that's
Oh,
yeah.
compromise. They
Like
really.
there's a scene that makes absolutely no sense. I don't know who these people are, but they don't exist in the real world. They've no experience of
Oh,
reality.
nope. Oh dear. The inconsistencies in this is so obvious.
And that
Mm.
notice that we barely mentioned. I mean, we talked about it being a Halloween movie or not. It doesn't matter. There's enough in this just to make you go,
Yeah.
on its own merit. Never mind bringing that in.
Yeah. That's right.
But
Cheapers.
yeah, the whole
Oh,
Marge scene and them all arriving to make it really obvious. And then Dan deciding to break cover. I'm a doctor.
yeah, exactly.
I thought you were
Yeah.
undercover. Why aren't
Yeah.
you like realistically? You'll be watching through the door, knowing there's something not right here.
I
But
can't
no,
believe
this
he
is
ran outside. Yeah, he blew his cover. Totally.
and Conal turns
So
up in the black limo again because he's the villain. In case you haven't figured out, like in the first 5 seconds of this.
yeah, we needed it banged into our heads with a hammer. We're so stupid. Yeah.
I don't think we're the stupid ones in this arrangement.
No. But I think they
There's plenty
think
of
that
stupidity, but it's not in the audience.
yeah, no. Yeah. There must be something wrong with you if you enjoyed this movie. Sorry, just putting it out there. I mean, oh, that's all right, Margaret. We're going to look after Mrs. Blah 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 at the factory.
With our
You got a
secret super medical
doctor?
facility in a
Exactly.
mass factory, because that's what happens.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh. Anyway,
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah. He shouldn't have been a doctor. He should have been a cop. I think that's a big mistake they made there. Was they should have kept him as a cop and
He
not
got
as a
killed at
freaking
the
doctor.
petrol station.
Yeah.
Then he went to investigate, blah, blah, blah. And he could have still used his contact with Terry. What
That
did
would make more
what did he
sense.
ask her before he left? He asked her to to look up something.
Yes.
He's bringing him flirting with her too. And once again,
Yes.
there's zero chemistry between the two characters.
No, but they're supposed to be, right? Because they're really good friends and I don't know. Whatever. It didn't even feel like it. It felt like he was nothing but a burden and he keeps asking for shit. And they've probably never even met. I mean, oh God, he was flirting with her as well. And it's like,
yeah, but she was being receptive and talking about going for dinner and stuff. And you're like, I'm not buying it. I'm sorry, I know you're trying to sell it, but I'm not buying it.
It's not no, it wasn't authentic. Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like there was no chemistry at all, like between anybody. Like it's like they were told, "This is your part. This is what you do. Don't add any flourishes, or don't make it look like you act like you don't know each other," sort of thing. And it's just like, oh my God, we've seen how it works really well.
Oh, you cut out there. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me. You've cut out. I don't know if it's your internet. Can't hear a word. Oh, something's. I think Dale's internet has went. She's frozen. That's how. Look, even Dale's internet's got disgusted with this movie. Oh dear. Yeah. This thing makes no sense. Like, it's a convoluted mess. Like, you're actually hurting your brain trying to install logic. Oh, she's gone for the moment. She'll hopefully be back. Like, even the internet's disgusted with this movie. What can we say? But yeah, we've got the whole character of Dan just makes no sense. The guy's a charisma. The character, is a charisma vacuum. And yet he's supposed to be flirting and being successful with the various lady characters in this. And honestly, they're just dialing it in because there's no chemistry between them. He's going about like a wooden plank, and he does, yes, we shall have sex. And they're like, ah. And it just, the dialogues don't match up. God, what else? Yeah, but that whole removal of Marge's body, like the entire team turn up in white coats in a van, and Dan and Ellie are supposed to be discreet and basically go in like a sledgehammer. And this would have been an excuse for them to go to the factory. The fact that her body was getting taken away, they could have jumped in the car and followed her to the factory, not barge out and be like, I'm a doctor, this, and they're going to the factory anyway the next day, so we could have just made this all happen at once. Very, very strange movie. I have watched it a handful of times, but it's not one that like you watch every year or anything. It's one like years pass by before you'd even think about doing it again. I don't want to jump forward in the plot in case Dale comes back. But if she gets her internet, hang on, let's call up some. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Are we back?
Should be.
Yep, there
Where
we go.
am I? Oh, yep.
I was going to say, this movie's that bad your internet was disgusted and decided it didn't want to play anymore.
Oh,
All right.
hold on. I've got. Oh no. There we go.
Yep, you're back.
Oh, bloody internet. Even the internet hated this film.
Yeah, it's like, nah, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't know. Right, I didn't jump ahead in the plot. I sort of did a wee bit of a recap, but if they hadn't have come in like guns blazing or I'm a doctor, look at us, we're here to investigate, they could have followed the van that took Marge's body away, and then that
Yes.
would have been their excuse to go to the factory, not have that stupid convoluted scene and then go to the factory the next day anyway.
Yeah, I know. Oh my god, it was messed up. It was so messed up. It's actually started to get I started to get a bit frustrated with it because I couldn't because then they had the Stonehenge thing come the element into it, and I'm like, why the hell are you talking about Stonehenge? And then they bring the Stonehenge into it, and it's
But you
like,
remember? Oh, you mean you remember the news article at the very start on the TV?
yes, but
Yep.
that was such a you blink and you miss that.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you didn't actually pick that broadcast up, you would have ended up at the factory looking at this big, huge stone, wondering what the frickin' heck is that? So I don't know. They should have explained the magic of it a bit better, because I think people write magic sometimes really lazy, and so do I have to admit, which is why I don't usually go into magic very often, like as in my stories and stuff like that. You've really got to be careful when it comes to things like that, because you could mess up the lore, if you know what I mean, of things. And I don't know. For me, the Stonehenge bit did not work. I know I'm jumping ahead, but it just so there's just another element besides the fact they went in there and then they had to hide, and then it was just a mess. As soon as they got to the factory, I was lost.
Yep.
Yep. I mean, even I don't know, even them getting separated, and just the video screens and all the CCTV, then it just
and they still manage to sneak in and do stuff. And
that's right. It's just like, and they're supposed to be these tough robotic characters and stuff like that, but they couldn't even see. There were blind spots in the camera, camera angles. There were blind spots. So that just didn't work for me.
Well, the plot needed to happen.
Of course. Yeah.
It's one of these conveniences just to make the plot move forward. That's all it is.
And too much of it, obviously, unrealistic. It did not make any logical sense whatsoever in the real world. And I know this is fiction and it's not supposed to be the real world, but
ground the reality before you can accept the fantastical.
Exactly.
You
can't go around saying, yeah. Yeah.
You can't have somebody
I
fly as a magic, trick if everybody else can fly. You need the rules of gravity, or else somebody being able to fly isn't fantastic.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So it's not that we want realistic, realism. We just want it to be logical.
Mhm.
It's got to make logical sense. Otherwise, your film's going to look like crap, basically.
Well, that's called canon and called lore, and that's what they're. It's interesting to see that even back then they mess things up like that, and that's the basics. And
But
it's
it's
got
looks
this.
like they
It's got this stage
deliberately
now.
did it,
Hmm.
didn't they? It's like they deliberately thought, oh, we'll take all the lore of everything and we'll just mix it all up and dump it in like a mixed stew or a
Just throw
mixed
spaghetti at the wall.
veggie. Yeah.
I don't think they had it. This was made by committee, and they didn't. They just needed to pump out a movie.
That's all it was at the
And it
end
was
of the
probably meant to
day.
be a tax break, but it actually was successful because they shoved it into the Halloween. The only reason this movie was successful because they shoved it in the Halloween franchise.
That's right.
But
Because as a standalone movie, it didn't work. It
it
didn't
would have been
work at all.
forgotten.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, what if they had just changed the name to Season of the Witch and taken it out of the franchise altogether, it would have flopped. Which it didn't because, well, it made a lot of money in the profits, but
These are the days before the internet, so they could get away with stuff. And I think that's why Hollywood is so angry now and hates YouTubers, because people will now actually wait to see what
yep,
their YouTuber, the YouTuber they know. It's not even like, this is a different sphere as well. It's not even like fans. You don't have fans, you have followers, you have people that just appreciate what you do.
yeah,
It's not like you have people screaming, going, ah. It's just, oh, yeah, I saw you last night, cool, and that's it. It's a completely
yeah,
different world. But
yes,
the people that follow you and come along, they will wait for your opinion before watching a movie.
yeah. Some of them
It's
do.
it's
Yeah,
same as some people, some things I watch, I'll wait for the review to come out before I'll waste my time going to see it, because
yeah,
the cinema is ridiculously expensive, so it's
yep,
uh,
yep,
and I won't, because a lot of movies are crap. I won't even waste money on the card. I know it would save me a fortune, but I can't even justify paying that, because I'm
yep,
not going to go to the cinema that often, because there's not that
yep.
much out there. It's worth watching now, especially now. And I used to go every week.
Exactly.
Like, I'm talking up
Yeah.
in the 30s. I went every week to the cinema without fail,
Wow.
unless I was away doing stuff, with work. But if I
Yep.
could, I was at the cinema, because that was my thing. Love movies, always have.
It was so much fun, wasn't it? Yeah, the movies were an experience. They were
Mhm.
cheap, they were wonderful. You got to hang out with your friends and, they had intermission time, so you got to hang out and go, do whatever.
Sometimes
And
most times I just go myself, because if I just wanted to see a movie, I would go and see
yeah,
a movie.
yeah.
Um,
I
what I
watched all
found
the
with my
Paranormal
friends,
Activity ones by myself at the movies, all the Paranormal Activity films. I only go and watch those at the movies by myself.
mhm.
I don't like taking people with me. It's a bit scarier when you go by yourself, I think.
Yeah, but don't
I
ever.
like that.
Everyone messes. Once you start getting a group of people, oh, we'll go at this time, we'll do this, we'll do that, and it just becomes a hassle where I just want to go see the
Yep.
movie.
Yep. That's right.
So yeah, 9 times out of 10, just go
Yeah.
yourself, because it's less
And
hassle.
it's too expensive to go as a couple anymore. I mean, God, it's nearly $100. It's like a date night,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you may as well go to
And
a
then it's
restaurant.
shit. And then the movie's shit anyway.
Mhm.
They're like, oh God. Anyway.
No, Larry,
Yeah.
let's get this shit movie finished up, because oh good God, it's actually painful.
Yeah.
So Dan sneaks around the factory. He goes back, and Ellie gets kidnapped, because nobody saw that coming.
Oh no, not a mile away.
No,
No,
that
not at
wasn't
all.
telegraphed.
Yeah.
So he goes back and sneaks into the factory, which is guarded by robots that obviously don't need to sleep or rest or get distracted, and it has security cameras, but he can just sneak in.
And no weapons.
No weapons.
Yeah, he
Yep.
can sneak in. Yep. Yep.
And then this random doll, which is clockwork, not even like proper mechanical.
That concept as well, that blew it. It was like, well, who gives a shit if he used to make dolls? What?
And practical jokes.
Yes, for practical. Oh, God. Why? Does he hate children that much? Oh, God. Because that was a messy way to end children's lives. I mean, come on.
And it was over complicated. So basically what he's saying is come back to the ritual sacrifice, pagan sacrifice.
Yes.
But
even that was messed up.
Yeah, but even at the time, they were done to make the crops grow the next year or for the harvest or blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Why is he doing it?
Exactly.
Where's the natural disaster or what's went wrong? If it had been a farming community and the crops were blighted or something.
Yes.
Not just because this will be fun.
Yes. Because then it didn't make sense as to why the hell they've got their own town anyway. So what you just said would have made absolutely perfect sense. Something's gone wrong in the town, so they need to resurrect bloody some demon or something. I don't know, to make it all right again. But no,
make them a cult that they're summoning something. It's an offering to summon a demon that they're going to serve. And
yeah, no, it's just a toy factory.
Yep,
full of robots.
And let's just have this mass sacrifice, ritualistic sacrifice, just because that's what used to happen, and it sounds like fun, and it's one person doing it.
Yeah.
For no actual gain.
There was none. Oh, because he used to be a prankster, and this is the biggest prank he's ever pulled off. So,
I think there's a difference between prankster and maniac. I don't know. I just, like I said, it was so weak. It was so weak.
It was.
You didn't buy into it.
No, because he either had to do it because he's a narcissistic psychopath, but we only got a little hint of him being like that because he's just one man. Everybody else are robots.
Yeah. And he only appears in like 3 scenes.
Exactly. And he's not all that at all, is he? He's just an old man driving around in a freaking old limo. It's not like he's part of the mafia or dressed up to kill or, I don't know. He just looked like Granddad.
Yeah.
Granddad having a grumpy day.
That's why I make the comparison to Phantasm, because Angus Scrimm, when he played the tall man, was an intimidating character.
Right.
And his servants and that, when you look at that series, that, he was an impressive character and you felt intimidated and you felt like he had purpose. And the more, even though the series gets a bit trippy with the is it a dream, is it real? That's the only thing that ruins the Phantasm series. But the whole idea of the tall man and where he's from and what he's trying to achieve makes sense. So you buy into his motivations.
Yes, absolutely.
Conal, you don't.
No,
Conal,
not at all.
You don't. He's no reason to exist. There's no reason for any of this to be happening. There's no reason for Dan and Ellie to be investigating this. There's nothing. Like even within the same scene, the actions don't make sense. Like the petrol station guy, that whole convoluted conversation about can I go now makes no sense. Ellie getting out of the shower, doing what she does, it all does not make sense.
No, it's lazy crap.
And then he goes and he gets tied up himself. He sees the demonstration because they have to show you the demonstration. You would have thought they would have done the demonstration months before this, not the night before they're shipping everything out where it's meant to happen.
Right. I know.
And why bring your bestseller to have him mysteriously disappear the night? You would just let it. You wouldn't do that. You would just have it happen because you want him to sell masks, don't you? Right up the day of Halloween.
Exactly. Exactly. But then it was like, this is going to be the last Halloween. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, yes, it is. It's like, oh, is this going to be the last Halloween or what? I don't know. I got lost. It was, oh, man.
Will it only be the
I
last
mean,
Halloween if Silver Shamrock were shipping masks worldwide?
right. Not just around town.
Or
Mm.
or is
Oh,
this
no,
another
actually.
America? Is this another America is the entire world 80s movie?
Yeah, probably. But no, didn't they show a scene of masks all over the world? Like they showed Indiana and then they showed, I don't know, some other places. Or was it another
Yeah, but
movie?
they were just American. No,
Oh,
like
was that?
they were just showing random. They didn't put up like do you know why normally they do? If they're doing the world, you'll see the Eiffel Tower, you'll see the Sydney Harbour,
Yes.
you'll see Tower Bridge,
Statue of Liberty or
all you
yep,
know what I
yep,
mean, if they're showing it, they
yep.
didn't do that.
No,
And there
they
was
didn't do any of that.
no hint at all that this was happening worldwide.
No. No
So
proper, no, not at all. They cut that, they made that say that was so lazy, it's ridiculous. It was
it's
like,
a shame they didn't have time to actually write some dialogue in
yeah,
and some
absolutely.
or some plot. I mean, just
And
any
some
plot.
plot and a story arc,
That would be nice. Do you know what?
character building.
Killer Sofa's looking better every minute I think of this movie.
Oh, I love Killer Sofa
at
compared to
least
this.
at least we had a friggin' laugh at that. This is just
I know. Oh,
and then we get Teddy's death scene. She's appeared in one scene, sorry, two scenes up to this point.
yep, yep.
And she's doing research, and the only thing she has is clockwork and ash. There's nothing.
No, and she spends all that time playing with the clockwork mechanism, and I'm thinking, what the frickin' heck are you doing, lady? This, what are you trying to work out? Obviously, it's not a car part. Put it down. But no, she has to keep playing with it. It's like,
But that's not the way forensics work. Forensics
isn't she
just
a
goes and logs everything.
yes, that's right. It was like, they don't do that. Are you for real? Oh my God. And then she ended up dying. And it was like, for what?
Yeah, once again, she is no threat. Serves
None.
nothing to the plot. She's really not discovering anything. It hasn't been logged in a facility. Why?
Because they needed more people to kill. Because
Okay.
it made no other sense.
It was a
They
good
needed,
scene, but it just once again, there's a couple of good scenes in this movie, but the problem is
yeah,
they're wrapped in absolute nonsense, so that they're
they missed. They're not as
they're they
important
can be taken out of
anymore.
context as oh, it's a great
Yep.
horror kill, but it doesn't matter if it's the greatest kill in the world if the movie makes no sense.
Yep. No, no, no. Gore without some sort of proper logical sense is just gore, and anyone can write gore. Oh my
It's
God.
making like your worst slasher look intelligent. Like honestly, it's
Yeah.
just so we get that. And yeah, the demonstrations, like I said, it's a classic scene in horror, but that's only if you look at it out of context of the entire movie, yeah, but it makes no sense.
No, it doesn't.
Especially at this stage where everything's coming together. Why is he only testing it to see if it works now?
The same day. I'm not, it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. It's like, oh God, why were you who were you demonstrating it to? Why were you doing a
What
demonstration?
if
What
Dan
if
hadn't
you
turned up? He would have nobody to demonstrate to, so that
that's right. So it's like,
it's like ha, you know, and the
yeah,
villain ha.
yeah. Not even the villain. Oh
Yeah,
my God. This movie could have been half an hour long.
yeah.
Yep.
But then we haven't got the best part of the So he rescues Ellie.
Yeah.
Ellie's a robot.
We don't know that though, do we?
No, not until the car scene where it makes
No.
absolutely no sense. Because first of all, he rescues Ellie. He then goes and gets the Silver Shamrock badge. She's right beside him
The whole time.
as he sets
Yeah.
basically sets up to destroy the facility. She doesn't stop him.
No.
She doesn't warn anybody.
No. So what? Has she not been programmed?
Secondly, why was she put in there? Were they going to let Dan escape? Because obviously they tied him to the chair with a mask on to finish him off. So were they going to let, they hadn't planned for him to escape. Plus, those test rooms we saw with the family are sealed tight. They don't open.
Yeah.
How come his has the
yeah,
convenient air vent?
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
and then they've set her up as a robot for him to rescue.
And
so that she can turn on him after he destroys the facility.
After, yeah.
Which she lets him do and doesn't interfere. And then she decides she's going to try and kill him.
And then yeah, exactly. I mean, why? What? Okay, so how did they turn her into a robot?
Don't know. Where is the real Ellie somewhere?
That's what I was wondering.
Why would they turn her into a robot?
Why?
They're not short of robots.
It can make them whenever he wants. Why does he want a female one who doesn't do anything? I mean, I don't know. Oh my God.
And then, God, the scene in the car when she tries to kill him about 4 times. She tries to kill him. He rips her out the door, her arm falls off. Then her arm tries to kill him. Then she tries to kill him again. He rips her head off. Then her headless body tries to kill him. Is that it?
Yeah.
And then her head's sitting there making,
and then her body gets back up and then, I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. Overkill. Totally overkill. And it doesn't make sense. Why did she even let him out? Why did they leave?
She shouldn't have let him leave. She shouldn't have let him blow the factory up.
No. Because she's been programmed.
Yeah, so to let him blow the factory up, then kill him afterwards because reasons?
Because they're lazy and they don't know how to make a freaking, oh my God.
This seems like a student. In fact, no, that would be offensive to students, film students. Because they're motivated. They actually want to do it. And
they are. A 5-year-old wrote this.
I don't know. That's not even fair to 5-year-olds.
As a joke.
Yeah, this is the 5-year-old taking the mic.
Yeah.
And thinking it'd be funny. And they took it and ran with it. Yeah. They took it and ran with it.
Yeah.
And tried to
it was probably the producer's son probably wrote it when he was 5.
Yeah. As a joke, but they took it seriously and
yeah. Oh, this is such amazing writing for a 5-year-old. We have to turn this into a film.
Better than we could do. Yeah, God. Okay. Right. Also, Dan the man.
Dan the man.
Has he give us any indication that he has any ounce of charisma whatsoever?
Oh, I didn't see any.
Right.
Not at all.
So not only does he have every random woman within 10 feet of him falling and swooning for him when he shows no personality, but he can ring TV stations and have them cancel major ads that have been millions have been spent to get that particular primetime slot. As part of a marketing campaign that's been set up a year ahead to make sure it all goes out at the same time. But he can just ring it up and go, nah, don't play that. Just say it's a bomb, and they do it.
They do it on 2 channels.
But not number 3.
Not number 3.
And of course, we
Oh,
get our
no.
petrol station attendant because he has to be there to say, "Oh, don't I know you?"
Yes.
Because reasons.
Got no idea. This is hurting my brain.
This is terrible.
Trying to work this movie out is a head screw. Seriously. Oh my god. I thought
I'm
Only
not even
Lovers
being
Left
critical.
Rivals. Oh,
Not even
this
being
makes
super
no
critical.
logical sense. Yeah. Well,
From scene to scene, nothing makes sense. You're just going,
no.
why is any of this happening?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Stupid.
But there you
One of the
go.
worst movies I've watched, I have to say.
It's not even a
Oh,
bad Halloween movie. It's just a bad movie.
it was just a bad movie, yeah.
Just
I would like to know if there's anybody out there who actually enjoyed this film.
there are people will fight with you. There are
Oh,
people
yeah,
will
bring
come
it
after you
on.
on social media
Come
saying this is
on.
the best thing since sliced bread.
Whatever.
Honestly, there's
Yeah.
legit people out there that defend this movie to the hilt. And I have no emotional investment about it being part of the Halloween franchise or not. I get the thing behind it
No.
and studios being studios, so I don't even take that personally. I know they're stupid and they make silly decisions, and
Yep.
that's just part of it. You know,
Yep.
especially being in this game long enough now that when you start looking behind the scenes, you realize that they are morons.
Yep.
And the fact that they can actually make a movie at all is a miracle.
Yes.
When you think of how incompetent the studios in Hollywood and all that is, the fact that a movie gets made at all and manages to get onto the screen is a miracle.
Yeah.
That's the real mystery.
It is a mystery. It is.
But yeah, this is a mess. I forgot
Yes.
how much of a mess it was because I've only watched it a handful of times, and there's been quite a number of years, and there's usually a few beers involved when I drank. Because it's one of those you just stick. It's just, you stick beers on, or you have beers and snacks, and you just play it in the background. You just get on with the night.
Yeah.
I first
Yeah.
saw it when I was a kid, obviously. So when you're a kid, what do you know about movies? But watching this as an adult and just actually watching it to make sense of it, bloody painful.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like reading a really bad book, but you have to know what happens at the end, and then you get to the end, and it's like, oh my god, I just wasted 200 pages of my life, on this shit, and I was waiting for something that didn't happen, and oh god, silly old me, I'm sitting there waiting for Michael Myers to turn up, but that obviously didn't happen. So, but yeah, as a standalone movie, it was shit.
It was a shit
Sorry.
movie. I don't
Yeah,
think
well,
Michael Myers could have saved this movie.
oh no, it wouldn't have mattered. Even if he did come into this, what would he have done? It would have been a completely different movie. It would just be another Halloween movie, but this was just a complete
Would he have
write-off.
been on the side of Conal Cochran? Would he have been on the side of Dan? Would he have fought the
Would he?
robots?
Yeah,
Why weren't the
exactly.
robots all Michael Myers?
Yes.
Were they trying to summon Michael Myers after being killed in the second one? Was he killed?
Exactly.
No, he always disappears. He never gets properly killed. He always disappears.
No,
Doesn't he?
just disappears, and
He
we
always
don't know what
falls out of a
happened.
window or downstairs and then vanishes for the next time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see what having Michael Myers in this would have done. Just been
Yeah.
another plot thread to make you go, why?
It just would have been another, yeah. Unless they added it in at the end or something, a Michael Myers mask or something. I don't know, but that wouldn't have saved it. Nothing would have saved this, except for maybe some sort of logic and consistency.
It would have been the fourth mask they were making, wahaha.
Yeah.
Prototype.
Yeah. I'll give this a 1 out of 10.
Very generous of you.
And only a 1. The ones for
just begrudgingly
oh,
giving a
for the
one.
beheadings. Yeah, begrudgingly give you a 1 for your beheadings. That's about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. That was a movie. Happy
Yeah.
Halloween.
Yeah, happy Halloween. Please don't make me watch another one like this again. Oh, I'm glad it was only an hour and a half.
Well, I can't promise that.
No, I know. I know. It's cool ripping movies apart too when they are really shit, and we don't usually do that unless it's real shit, right?
Yeah. No, that's the thing.
We always tend to find something really good in a movie. There might be something that might be, quite good in it. But there was absolutely nothing at all that I can say in a positive way about this film. There's no positives.
Because nothing works.
Except that it finished. No, nothing worked. It's a mess. It's a mess. Sorry.
Oh, well. Right. We're back to Wellington Paranormal next.
Yes.
So at least we're going to have a laugh.
We will.
Yep. Oh, my word.
Oh.
That was the thing. We watched it so you don't have to.
Yes. Yes.
And,
we go through the pain for you. Yeah. I hope you appreciate it.
Well, but we'll have to do a shit movie every so often. It's just part of the rite of passage of a.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
But there you go. Dale, thanks for tolerating this with me. We had busy names in a hat for the Halloween movie, and this is what got pulled out. So there you go. That's how it happened.
And it worked. That's all good. It was good. It was good to see. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. A good way to spend Halloween. Ooh.
Absolutely. But there you go, folks. Thanks for everyone as well that tuned in there and said hello in the chat. And just leaves me to say, until next time, keep up to date with the channel, do the type of tricky things, and remember to keep it creepy. Keep it horrific.